DIaries.
Hello and welcome to Beauty Diaries. My name is Namure. Today on the program, we're coming to you from the venue of the African Hair Summit 2018. At the African Hair Summit, the theme for this year's event is Hair Economy, Building Our Africa Value Chain. Apart from that, we'll be talking to our lovely sisters from different parts of the world, and we'll be talking about natural hair, and that's why we have the African Hair Summit today. And of course, you know the other segments we have for you on the program. We'll be right back after this break. Women wear their hair in the way that suits them and the way they desire. Many years ago, so many of us were into relaxing or texturizing of hair. Then fixing of weave-on became the in thing. With relaxers and weave-on, some ladies experienced bad damaged hair or loss of hair. Then came the wigs to help relieve the stress on the scalp. Most ladies have their natural hair matted or waved before wearing the wigs. For those who didn't like wigs, other styles like braids, Ghana weaving were also easy to wear. Then the natural hairstyles evolved. Afro textured, kinky, nappy, curly, and many more are various descriptions to depict the texture and structure of African hair. The history behind all the elaborate designs and hairstyles originated in different ethnic regions in Africa. Socially, hair grooming played a significant part in status and identity in tribes and class. Therefore, it was very important for the head female in each family to be very skilled in creating the appropriate styles and teaching this craft to their daughters. It was considered a big deal to wear your hair neat and groomed. With the current trends and awareness of its benefits, many African women are beginning to embrace their Afro texture hair. You can wear your natural hair short, long braided, twisted, dreads, half or fully colored, whichever way makes you comfortable. This has resolved into the creation of more salons who specifically manage natural hair. At the just concluded African Hair Summit, which took place recently in Abuja, a lot of ladies and men converged to learn more about natural hair care and business of producing natural hair care products. It was a great opportunity to talk to these beautiful ladies about natural hair. Stay tuned, we will be right back.
African hair is our identity. No matter how much you run away from it, if you want to wear Brazilian hair, Peruvian hair, whatever hair, let me tell you, you still do not look, African if you don't wear your hair natural.
Beauty Diaries.
With me on this interview segment is the convener, the creator of Africa Hair Summit, Mrs. Ada Uweza. I hope I pronounced your surname right.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Awesome. Good.
Just close.
So how have you been?
I'm great, thank you.
Talking about the Africa Hair Summit, one would think that Ada has a salon somewhere.
Yes, that's usually the case. People say, where's your salon? Where's your shop?
Okay.
Like, really? Okay, I didn't think about it that way.
So what's your background?
Education.
Education.
Sociology was my first BSc, and global development in Africa. I had a master's in global development in Africa. And I think that's what has really inspired a lot of what I'm doing now, because anything I think of, I think more on the global scale. I don't just think local. And maybe that was the reason why I thought about the name as African Hair Summit rather than Nigerian Hair Summit or Abuja Hair Summit. Thinking about how we can, improve the well-being of people around Africa and the world, because we have Africans everywhere.
Now, hair generally talks about different types of hair, but in the summits all through, we've always focused on natural hair. Why is this so?
Yeah, because that's what the platform is about. The African Hair Summit was created to sensitize people about the toxic chemicals in hair and beauty products, to promote the beauty in the African natural hair, and to encourage the local manufacture of organic products. And if you look around, you see a lot of vendors exhibiting natural, organic products. We're trying to open them up to the international market and also here to just give them that exposure, the information they need. We work with SON, work with NIPC, some organizations that are going to really help them, become, increase the quality of their products and become exportable.
Now, the panelists, the discussions we've had, this is day 2, from day 1 till now, has been eye-opening, highly informative about products, the chemicals and, some other aspects. Of course, we also love the area where we have some personalities coming on the African Hair Summit. Tell us about how you arrive at these topics for the summit.
Okay, it's like a progression for us because it also expresses our journey. When we started the summit, we tried to reflect where we really were, and now we're talking about hair economy, building our Africa value chain. So it's actually painting the bigger picture, because that is what we need to begin to, that's how we should begin to think as business owners, as local manufacturers. We need to begin to think global. So when we say building our Africa value chain, is actually realizing what we have here, the resources we have available to us, why they are untapped, and why we should begin to find ways to explore these resources. We talked about organic products like coconut oil, carrot oil. We have farms here. A lot of people have farmlands. We work in local communities, and most of these women do not know what to do with their. They just sell the products, and when they go bad, they throw them away. We had to teach them, look, you can convert carrots, for instance, into carrot oil. We started teaching them how to make coconut oil from coconuts and all these things they have within their own environment. So now we have, and some of them may not be able to make those things, but we can link them up, like we have been linking them up with the people that are into the manufacture of these products. So we're now creating a value chain, if you can see that. So we have the farmers, connecting them with the people who are manufacturing. And then right now at the summit, we're also talking about exportation. So we're creating an export window for these local manufacturers to see how we can, first of all, work with them to improve brand consistency, to improve the quality of their products, to improve their mindset and the way they see business and the way they see, where they see themselves in the next 5 years. Some people are not really thinking, long term. They're probably just seeing this as, oh, okay, this is a good opportunity. But if something else comes up, just, jump at it. Or we're teaching them how you can grow your brand into not just a local brand, but an international brand. And as you see, we have Marini Naturals. She came all the way from Kenya, and you've heard her story. She is exporting to about 10 countries now in the world. And this was deliberate because you need to begin to inspire people. This lady started from her bathroom mixing products, and now she's all over the world. She was interviewed on CNN Africa and other international houses. So I think people need to begin to see what we have and stop, there's this mentality sometimes that consumes us. It's like we follow trends. What is trending?
Yeah.
What is this person doing? What's that person doing? But we're trying to take the conversation further. Once you start doing this, you have what it takes to become a global brand. And I think that's what we're achieving right now through the summit. African hair is our identity. No matter how much you run away from it, if you want to wear Brazilian hair, Peruvian hair, whatever hair, let me tell you, you still do not look, African if you don't wear your hair natural, because that is who you are. When we say natural hair, it's actually African hair. You can wear it in its natural state or, African hairstyles. We have some beautiful African hairstyles that we rock. But now a lot of, foreign beauty standards are actually, let me say distracting, but, confusing a lot of people, and they're not sure again who they really are. Because today they're wearing this hair, tomorrow they're wearing that hair. And if you want to hear the true story, you need to listen to the men. I've talked to a couple of men, and they tell you how confused they are each time the woman walks into the house, because it's like, yesterday you were with something else, today I have to deal with you in so many ways and still know that you're the same person, So it's really, really hard. Imagine if the men had different hairstyles every time.
You don't want to go there.
Exactly. So it's actually, this is who we are. So I think it makes it easy, not just for us, but for everybody who's around us. And then when we begin to rock our natural hair, we begin to showcase our African hairstyles. Foreigners love it. They love it when we wear our hair. They want to see more Africa. They don't want to see us looking like them. They want to come and they want to say, wow, we can't get this in America. We can't get this in France. How did you get this style. You know, let us be special. Let's keep ourselves to be special, not just to media, but to the world. Let us understand that we're exporting our identity, and this is huge market. This is big business for us. You know, when you begin to show what you are, who you are, you're confident in who you are, people begin to want it.
Sure. Now let's talk about the foundation and Fortizo Foundation.
Yeah, Fortizo Life Foundation.
Fortizo Life Foundation.
Yeah.
Do you empower people based on what you do in the summits?
Yes. Okay. So Fortizo Life Foundation was actually registered in 2016, and is African Health Summit was our first project ever.
Okay.
And we've also expanded into community work. So we do a lot of communities, and that's why I was referring to the local women, because those people are really, you know, when you see people going to communities, they talk about malaria, they talk about maybe just hygiene, which is really good because we also deal on hygiene and all those things, but nobody really talks about hair and beauty. Funny thing is that these women are very vain. You'll be shocked, and that's the reason why they have really damaged their hair, trying to meet up with certain beauty standards that they see in the city. You know, they want to use the soda. If they can't afford the relaxer, they go straight to the chemical itself and they pour these things on their hair. Some of them use petrol to wash their hair when they have hair lice.
Petrol?
Yes, they use fuel to wash their hair. They say it kills hair lice. You know, they expose themselves, and some of them end up getting burnt as a result because they don't wash off. They don't tend to wash off the whole thing from their hair, and they're cooking with firewood and stuff, and next thing there's a fire, and then, you know, somebody's on fire. So we've had people, so we have to go and begin to school them and let them know that, see, you don't even have to do all this. You are beautiful just the way you are. You have children that need you around for as long as, you know, possible. So you need to stay healthy, you need to stay alive. And when we get there and they see people with natural hair, they're like, really? So we even think that someone who looks this good would wear something else, but you're wearing your natural hair. And that's the kind of reaction we want to get from people, so that they understand it's okay to be natural, it's okay to be African. And, you know, I think we're making progress, but obviously the work just started and we're hoping to take it even further.
Yeah, because I was just going to ask you, what's the next step to take?
Yes.
In the next 2 years, we want to go out of Nigeria.
Oh, yes, definitely. But again, you know, charity begins at home.
Of course, yes.
We are going to have to build a very solid foundation here. You know, before we start taking anything anywhere, we want to know there's a base here where we started. We want to know that, you know, it's like a journey. So you want your story to be complete, and you want people around you to be able to testify that, look, I've been a part of this story, I've been a part of this journey, it has impacted my life positively, like we've heard. So many people have started up businesses just from attending the summit. So many people have gone natural just from attending the summit.
Yes.
So there's a lot of positives, you know, and it's so encouraging. Some people see me and they're like, Adana, I dressed like this today because I knew I was coming to African Hair. So I'm like, thank you very much, and you look beautiful. So I'm happy to get all those types of feedbacks and all of that. So talking about the question you asked about, you said
moving on
2 years from now. Was it 2 years you talked about? We're also working on a hair health and wellness institute that we're hoping to build here in Abuja. We want to have it structured here so that we can really help people through this journey. It's not an easy thing, it's a lifestyle change. You know, so we're going to have different segments of this institute. We already have the plan. The model is almost ready, and we can't just wait to show it to everybody. But we want you to know that we have your good, let me say, will at heart, and we're looking for how to just improve the well-being of our people, to help you through the stages. And for those who are going into the businesses, we're looking for how to really do this through the institute as well. We have a research center, we have incubation centers, we have a lot of things that we feel are necessary to take us to the next level.
Wow, interesting.
Yes,
I must congratulate you so far on all you've been doing. The awareness has been awesome.
Yes,
and everybody now knows what it is to have your natural hair.
Exactly.
Especially with the chemicals and how it affects our hormones, especially as women.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for coming on
Beauty
Diaries.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. And you're looking beautiful yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've been talking to Adana Wezo, the creator of the African Hair Summit. Of course, this is the 3rd edition, and it's put together by Fortizo Life Foundation. We'll be back after this break. Do stay with us.
Beauty Diaries.
My guest on the program today is someone you've always wanted to meet. For those of you that don't know her, she's someone you'd always want her fingers, the magic fingers, to walk your hair if you do have natural hair. If you're a social media enthusiast, you may be her follower, or you should be a follower. I'm talking about a very pretty young lady that I'm also waiting to have my hair, and then I'll take a picture and say styled by. Kemi Lewis is on the show with us today. Welcome to Beauty Diaries.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We're at the Hair Summit, and it's a great joy to have you feature on Beauty Diaries. So we'll just quickly talk about hair care.
Okay.
How did you start this? Because there were not enough salons to go to when everybody started going natural.
Sure.
Okay. So let's tell us how you started.
So pretty much that was one of the reasons why I started, because when I had recently gone natural and there were not enough people, actually there was not anybody who really knew what to do with natural hair, so I was going to my regular salon, and it was always, aren't we going to put some relaxer in this? And I'm like, I've gone past way beyond that, I am not putting relaxer in my hair, this is my hair. And I just found out that, not enough people knew what to do, how to style it, what products to use, how to maintain it. They'd want to comb it the way you'd comb relaxed hair. And I'm like, no, this can't, there has to be more to this than all of this. And that, I started to do my own research. And one thing led to another, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to, because I've always loved to do hair. I was one of those girls in secondary school who would weave the hair, my friend's hair and all of that. So it was sort of like almost like a natural progression for me to start a salon, since I've always loved to do hair. So I started the Natural Hair Salon in August 2013, and here we are today.
2013?
Yes, 2013.
Oh my, I thought it was maybe 2 years ago.
I know, it's been 5 years.
Oh my God. So how's it been? The business?
It's actually been, overall, it's been fantastic. I mean, there have been quite a number of low moments, but as with any business, and then any business in Nigeria, but, overall, I would say it has been fantastic. There are definitely more and more people who are embracing their hair, who are curious to see what their hair can do. And I love playing in people's hair just to create, because growing up, natural hair was looked down upon. It was like, you have natural, nachi, what are you doing? It was like, you're local, you're this. And what I set out to do was, what, I'm going to change that narrative. Let natural hair be beautiful. Let people look at it and say, oh my goodness, what is that? How did you do this? Is that all your hair? And I love to do that. So first of all, I decided I was going to be a walking advertisement for what I do. So as you can see, I walk about and I make sure my hair is did, and pretty much that's it. So I love doing that, just love creating statement pieces, just conversation starters. Oh my goodness, what is that? How did you do that? Is that your hair? And that's what I do.
Did you learn it? Or you just have the flair or talent for it?
So it's a combination of both. I've always, as I said, I've always loved to do hair. So I guess it was an innate thing. I never pursued, I never nurtured. But when I decided that this was the path I was going to take, then it was now a more, an intentional and deliberate effort to start to build that gift. So I would go on courses, I would go online and watch people, do different things. I would go to hair shows in the US and in the UK, and I literally just walk about and just stand at, different product booths and just watch what the stylists are doing. I'm like, oh, are you serious? You can do that? Then I go back and I probably have about 4 or 5 mannequins in my house. I just take a mannequin and I'll start. And I also had a few friends I would call and say, can I just practice on your hair, please? And they're like, okay, come. And I would do that, So it was, I had to be deliberate about it. So I definitely, I had the gift, yes, but I had to definitely work at it. So if you look at work that I did when I first started and work that I do now, you can see there's a progression, definitely. So, yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about hair care. Most of us have natural hair now, and some have given up. Some have gone back to
the creamy crack. The relaxer.
The relaxer. Or some in not wanting to relax their hair, say they are doing the softening their hair. How can one really maintain her natural hair?
Okay, so I'll start off by saying, first of all, the reason why a lot of people seem to be going back to the relaxers is because the reason for them giving up in the first place wasn't strong enough. Okay. Let me just put it that way. I hope I don't offend anybody, but I just say, because you have people that go
natural for health reasons. You have people that go natural because their hair is thinning, because of the abuse of chemical relaxers over however many years. You have people that go natural because it's like a reawakening for them and just trying to get rid of all these, because you have so many incidents of diseases and all sorts of that now. But you have some other people, they see, oh, my sister is natural. Maybe I should do, because her hair was, she went natural, her hair became so long. Maybe if I go natural, my hair too will be long. Then they go natural, and because they don't understand it, and it wasn't really a personal thing for them, it was, I can see something, therefore let me do it. So they lose the interest, they lose the passion, and it's like, you know what, this is not working for me, I'm just going to slap the relaxer on. So it has to be, and everybody has their own journey. Everybody comes to different points at different times in their lives. So I honestly don't judge anybody, because I believe that ultimately you will get to that point where if it works for you, this is what you are going to do. Ultimately, I mean, I'm not going to shove it down your throat. It is what it is. But in terms of maintaining, I always like to break it down into 4 things. And I say cleanse, condition, moisturize, and then protect. So cleanse really is, you wash the hair, and you don't always have to wash the hair all the time, because everybody thinks, I must shampoo my hair every week. You don't have to, because that's even a lot of manipulation, if you don't know how to handle it to begin with. So you want to make sure your scalp, not the hair. I mean, yes, the hair has to be clean, but the scalp is where you want to concentrate on, and then the shampoo can always flow through the hair. So you want to make sure your scalp is clean. Then you want to make sure you are deep conditioning often. Now, a deep conditioner is a conditioner you put in your hair, and it actually penetrates deep into your strands and fortifies it, makes it soft. And you have to do this at least twice a month is what I always advocate for, because natural hair tends to be dry. Our strands are dry, and then added to that, you have the weather and all these things, and the hair becomes even drier. So most people, you do this, you put, run your fingers through their hair, and you can see all these dry strands breaking and crackling off. So you need to make sure that you are you're deep conditioning your hair at least twice a month. That will help you, put the moisture back into the hair on a deeper level. Then moisturize. You need a daily moisturizer. So I tell people, when was the last time you put anything in your hair on a daily basis? They're like, never. You do your hair.
Can I moisturize even with the DD I have on?
You moisturize even with your DD, even with your whatever. I could ask you. So even with the clothes you have on, will you have your bath this morning?
Oh, yeah.
Or there you go. Are you going to drink water today? Are you going to drink water today?
Yes.
There you go. So the same thing. Your hair needs something to live on. Otherwise, it's just going to become dry. It becomes it's thirsty. So whatever you have on, just even if it's a light mist of water and a bit of oil, just to lock that moisture in, do that, and the hair is soft and it keeps it, keeps it hydrated. And then protect. This is nice protective style. You have your hair, up away from having to comb it every day, because combing your hair every day, is over manipulation. It's just going to break. There's no two way about it. So once you've followed those 4 blocks, you're good to go.
Okay,
that's it.
How about the sleeping nets, the silk scarf?
Yeah, the silk and satin. So that's also part of protection. So protection really is protecting the hair so that you are not over manipulating, and also making sure that you are doing everything to retain the length that you are growing, because everybody wants long hair at the end of the day.
Right.
So the silk and satin bonnets, silk and satin scarves, silk and satin pillowcases, they're really important when it comes to protecting your hair, because what typically happens, cotton tends to suck moisture out from your hair, and your pillowcases are made from cotton. So you want to make sure that when you're sleeping, you're protecting your hair with something that your hair will glide against, as opposed to something that will suck the moisture from your hair. Because remember, natural hair is dry. We're trying to make sure that we're retaining moisture, not sucking the moisture out from the hair. So all of that is really, really, part of protecting your hair.
DIaries.